Good evening and welcome back to Capitol Tonight. A statewide look at politics. I'm Tim Boyne. We now have a budget. We'll still need the governor's signature, but we do have a budget. Teachers will get a raise. Just how much and how beneficial it is somewhat remains a debate. On average, the raise is 7%, but it varies in range from less than 1% to as high as 18.5%. The North Carolina Association of Educators has been vocal and critical to some extent about it. Joining us tonight for more on that, the organization's Vice President, Mark Jewell, and State Representative and Republican Craig Horn from Union County, a House Education budget writer as well, joining us from our Charlotte newsroom. Gentlemen, good to see you. Thank you so much for your time.
Good to see you.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so there is some confusion, I guess, among teachers about what this pay raise means for everyone. The governor has said it's 5.5% plus longevity, which gets us to that average 7%. Representative Horn, what is your message to teachers that are confused by all of this, I guess?
My first message is everybody's going to make more money. I think that's a great thing. Like in all things, one can look at it and conclude from statistics all kinds of things. But our fiscal staff, our nonpartisan fiscal staff in the legislature tell me that the average teacher raise across this state for 2014-15 is 7%.
Mark, you guys have not been super happy about this.
Sure. First of all, I do want to thank Representative Horn for his service and dedication to North Carolina public school children. We know he has a very tough job, but he does represent his constituents very honorably. So we thank you for your service, Representative Horn.
Thanks.
Saying that, having said that, we, of course, are disappointed that our teachers at the top of the pay scale, mid-year and top of the pay scale, who have been frozen for, 5 out of the last 6 years, are receiving very small percentages. We also were very disappointed that longevity is being rolled into the salary increase as part of their monthly payment plan, because we feel that it does actually harm their earning potential throughout the years. As you know, longevity is done as a percentage-wise based on 10 years and beyond service in 4 different tiers, banning 5-year spans.
Well, let me, if you don't mind, let me stop you right there and ask, because that is a point of contention.
Yeah.
Representative Horn, why was it rolled in as part of that versus just doing it the way we've done it in the past?
What we heard from teachers across the state as we talked to them, the governor has a teacher advisory group. I've formed a few of them myself in various areas across the state, is the teachers needed more money in their pocket day in and day out. So we put it all together so that they had more money in their pocket day in and day out.
And, yes, and we do contend that the longevity was being used to give those pay increases, which is our contention with it right now. We know that in order to make teachers whole, which is to get them where they needed to be on the 2008-2009 salary schedule, would take about a 10% increase. And looking at the new salary proposal, there's only a small step of teachers that it would actually be made whole with this salary schedule, and those are steps 6 through steps 11. Everyone else beyond that is receiving a smaller amount of increase, particularly teachers who have the most experience. And what this actually, it's an inequity issue, because we feel that teachers were the only group that were pointed out to have to trade in their longevity as they roll in with their salary increase. So now you see a teacher coming from, let's say, Michigan with 25 years of experience, but not any dedication to the state of North Carolina, will make the same amount of money with that teacher who has their longevity rolled into their salary schedule with 25 years of experience. That was their money that they were receiving because of their dedication to the state of North Carolina. And now someone coming in is going to be receiving that same amount, which actually reduces the amount of the raise that they're going to be receiving. We're also very concerned that we always supported beginning teachers receiving a strong boost in the salary schedule and support that. But the salary schedule also locked out the top tier. So compared to our past salary schedule, which capped out at $53,000, this one actually caps out at $50,000. So it doesn't give experienced teachers much reason to stay.
All right, Representative Horn, I guess if you want to, go ahead and respond to that. And I guess kind of the theory behind why you guys focused on doing this pay scale the way you did.
Well, it became crystal clear that we needed to raise the floor for all of our teachers, but in particular for the teachers at the lowest end. That was the most critical issue. That we heard about it across the state. The governor heard about it, the House and Senate. We heard about it time and time again, how we were not able to attract new teachers, not able to retain our high quality teachers in the classroom. We know that people making decisions to either move to the state or to enter the teaching profession, we've got a growing population. We need to attract and retain high quality teachers in the beginning, and we need to, of course, support and reward the teachers that have been with us through the long haul. I'd love to go back to 2008-9. Heck, I actually made money myself in 2008 and 9. But this is 2014-15. I can't run my life by looking over my shoulder. We were committed to a fundamental raise raise the floor on teacher salary, and we've accomplished that. First thing we did is we looked at the teacher pay scale, we added in the longevity, and from there we then added a sliding scale on teacher raises, so that across the entire spectrum there's an average 7% raise. We raised the bottom the most, but it's part of a longer term plan. You may have heard of a plan by Governor McCrory to ensure that we keep high quality teachers in the classroom so that they don't have to get out of the classroom to make more money. We've began the process of re-implementing master's pay. We've kept the National Board certification pay. Their longevity, as I said, is rolled in with this pay increase so that they don't lose longevity. So it's a step. It's not a destination, it's a journey. We think we've taken a mighty strong step out of the gate and been able to not only keep our teachers, pay them a bit better, but keep our TAs and the support in the classroom.
Mark, let me ask you. I was going to say, Mark, let me ask you about that, because some will say teachers only get 1% over 5 years. You know, why complain about what seems like a significant step? And change is hard.
Okay, a couple of points to that. And I always tell my own story. It's about why I came to North Carolina, because I'm actually a transplant. I was recruited from a very poor state of West Virginia in 1997 by North Carolina that came there and heavily recruited where there was a surplus of teachers. And I came here because we had instituted a long-term salary commitment to move North Carolina to the national average. In 97, when I came here, here's what North Carolina offered me. They said, Mark, we're going to pay you for your years of experience, which was 10 years at the time. Mark, we're going to pay you for your master's degree, which is now being eliminated. Mark, we're going to provide you wraparound services in the classroom that's going to give you a teacher assistant part-time in the 5th grade. You're going to have a guidance counselor, a social worker, a school psychologist, all of those things that help develop the whole child, small class size. That's why I came to North Carolina, because we moved from 30th in the nation to 20th in the nation. We made historic strides on a long-term commitment. And the reason that we can't fund a significant salary increase now for everyone who's been frozen for the past 6 years is because the tax base has crumbled with huge tax breaks, as you know, for those who are millionaires and corporations. We're going to have $1 billion next year, a hole in the budget, and and the tax analysts say $5 billion over the next 5 years. So we're looking around right now the shell game of how to fund salary increases based on the backs of those other programs or state agencies. So we feel it's robbing Peter to pay Paul.
You open up a whole other can, bring up the tax plan, but
I'm
just kidding.
It is a viable issue, and I know it's just two different philosophies.
Yes.
And we respectfully disagree on that.
We're pretty much out of time here, but I know Representative, just briefly, if you want to respond to that.
I would love to respond to it. Lots of things we look forward to lots of things in 1997 that unfortunately we had this thing called a recession that hit, the longest, deepest recession in the history of the country, and certainly in North Carolina's history, other than the Great Depression. The game has changed. I do take a little issue. We did not eliminate master's pay. We eliminated it going forward, but no one that is currently receiving master's pay is going to lose master's pay, and those people that are in the pipeline for master's pay will get their master's pay. A number of states are looking at this issue. We did raise the floor for everyone, particularly for the lowest paid teachers, the entry level, and we have a promise, a commitment to do that going forward. So I think we're on the right track. I think that every teacher in North Carolina is going to have more money in their pocket at the end of this year, and that they're going to and that they realize that if we, and I say if, and I expect to be held accountable to continue to progress down this path so that we keep our best teachers in the classroom.
Well,
And
go ahead.
I do have to respond to the master pay. It has been eliminated for anyone who doesn't have one class finished by April 1, 2013. Every state in the country rewards teachers with a significant pay increase. Some states even require it for you to stay in their profession. If anyone has been through a university program in instructional leadership, the research and technology that we're learning there is phenomenal. And in order for us to be competitive with 21st century learning skills, we must continue to reward to pay teachers. Those who are not in the program now, those who continue to recruit and retain the most highly qualified teachers possible.
Well,
and that's part of our issue too on that issue. So I did have to go ahead and counterpoint that issue.
Well, if there's one thing is that we're all talking, and I hope you guys will come back and keep
right.
talking about this, because this
Absolutely.
is an issue that is not going to stop now, obviously.
And he is a strong supporter of his constituency and those in Union County. We do appreciate your service, Representative Horn.
Thank you both. I appreciate it. Thank you so much
you.
Talking about this very important
Thanks
issue.
very much.
Absolutely. Time for a last break. When we return, our insiders, Perry Woods and Tyler Crawley, debate the latest and greatest in Tar Heel politics. Stay with us. Representative